Okay, everybody. I want to welcome everyone to our second monthly Manufacturing Let's Talk Talent webinar. The Lorain County Chamber is doing this in conjunction with the Lorain County Manufacturing Sector Partnership, our friends over at Lorain County Community College, JVS, and Ohio Means Jobs Lorain County. Today's topic is Train Ohio, Training Recruitment Acceleration Innovation Network of Ohio. And our speaker is going to be Courtney Tenhover. Before we actually introduce Courtney, I'm going to actually ask our partners to introduce themselves and kind of say who they are and who they're with. I think for the most part, I will have Tony Schweppe introduce himself to kick things off.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I think I know the majority of you, but Tony Schweppe, I'm with Lorain County Community College. I'm with our Business Growth Services.
Judith, I'm going to have you introduce yourself for the sector partnership since Fitz is on paternity leave right now.
Right. Happy to do so. I'm Judith Cronker. I am a workforce development specialist. I am a member of the sector partnership and have been working in an interim director role for the last few months as we advertised and brought on a new person.
All right. Thanks, Judith. I will then turn it over to Bernie. Bernie is very critical to this mix. It was actually her idea to do these monthly webinars. And considering we went from 6 manufacturers who participated in last month's, and we have 15 distinct manufacturers this month, says we must be doing something right, or at least we're going in the right direction. So with that, I'll introduce Bernie.
Hi everyone, I'm Bernie Goski from Lorain County Community College. It's a pleasure to be with you today. And as Tony mentioned, we are all working together to help the manufacturers in Lorain County to solve some of their dire talent needs. And we have some ideas and some innovations that have worked in the past. And so it's our goal to bring those forward to you and see if they might work for your organization. Or, you know, what we try to avoid is reinventing the wheel, because we know that there are some things that are really working kind of like a well-oiled machine, and we would just like to engage more employers to take advantage of these programs. So with that, I thought it would be great if we could have the manufacturers introduce themselves, and if you just tell us your name, your company, the location of your company, and then also let us know, have you hosted students in the past, or do you have an interest in hosting students at your organization? And if so, would that be, you know, for a tour, or would that be more in the way of having interns, co-ops, or apprentices, and being able to offer work-based learning to those students? So I'm just going to go around as I see the squares here. So Marinette.
Hi, I'm Marinette. I am with EMC Precision. We are located in Elyria, Ohio. I'm currently transitioning into HR, so I'm learning a lot. We have also joined the Lorain Manufacturing Sector Partnership, and I attended my first career fair, and we are actually hiring one candidate from a connection that I made there. So that was pretty exciting. And yes, we are open to tours for students, interns, and whatever you might need.
That's great. Thank you. Joe Smith.
Good afternoon, everyone. Joe Smith, Agronomics. We are located here in Oberlin. We've have current LCCC students employed with us, several of them on a part-time basis while they're going to school to finish their associate's degree program, primarily in the automation specialist program. I can't remember the full title of that degree, but we have a young lady, her name's Sarah Park, and she's been with us for several years now, and she decided to go on to get her bachelor's degree. So she's expecting to finish that up in the spring, I think. So she is still with us, and just went part-time as she went back to school. And then we have Stephen Smith, and he's in the program, associate's degree program. And also we just hired a older gentleman, has more work experience and was in the service, and he's in the LCCC associate's degree program too. So we just brought him on. So, and we have others that have been through the program and are with us in engineering roles and traveling service technician roles. So we've done a lot with the people coming out of LC.
Great. Thanks, Joe. Jeffrey? Not able to hear you, Jeff. Not yet.
He's not muted
No.
on his end.
Well, Jeff works with Marinette, so I guess we kind of know what they were gonna
Right.
they were
Yeah.
doing. So
Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Okay.
He's my
And-
boss.
Yeah. And Mary, I know that you're with Joe, but anything that you'd like to add?
No, Joe said pretty much what I would have said. We've just been very, very successful in obtaining employees through the LCC program. And it's just the perfect fit for what we're looking for, each and every one of them. So we have some of them that's been with us for, I don't know. Well, Kane's probably the oldest, and he's been with us
10 years.
10 years, yeah. And he was one of the first ones that we got, and he's moved up into a management role from starting at a much lower level. So we're just can't say enough about the program because it's just a perfect fit for us.
Thank you. That's great. And how about Danielle?
Hi, we're with Auto Kineton, formerly known as L&W Engineering. And we are a stamping and welding for automotive. And we are looking for some skilled trade, tool and die, maintenance, those type of things. And we're open for anything.
That's great. Hopefully we'll be able to help you. Thank you, Danielle. And Brenda?
Hi, my name is Brenda D'Amico. I am working with United Initiators. They are located in Elyria, Ohio. They are in the chemical industry. So we're looking for a lot of chemical operators, lab technicians, chemists, some engineers. So I would love to hear more about the program and how maybe it can help us find some great talent.
Perfect. Thank you. Lisa.
Hi, good morning or afternoon rather. My name is Lisa Marino. I work at Duraline. We have 2 plants in Elyria. We produce conduit. Our biggest customers are AT&T as well as Verizon. And we have another plant that does accessories, tape. You know, we are true manufacturing. I have some engineers here, trades. I'd be interested in learning a little bit more about, you know, an internship. That's something that we're looking at in the future.
Great. Thank you. Janet?
Hi, I'm actually the executive director of the Oberlin Business Partnership. So I'm joining today to see what are the needs and how can LC3 help us fulfill those for all of our manufacturing and industrial companies.
Oh, that's great. Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's somebody on the phone at a 216 number. If you'd like to unmute and introduce yourself. Maybe they're driving.
Yeah.
Have I missed anyone?
I don't think so. I think that's everybody that I see so far. There might still be coming on, but we'll go ahead and get started if you want to introduce Courtney.
Yep, that's great. Okay, so it's my pleasure to introduce Courtney Tenhover, one of our colleagues at the college who is doing a bang-up job as the program developer for the Earn and Learn programs at the college. And so at this time, just turning it over to Courtney, if you'd like to share your screen.
Yep, thank you. I will. So while it's sharing, I'll introduce myself. Like Bernie said, Courtney Tenhover, I'm a program developer. I sit within our engineering, business, and IT division, but I started about 6 years ago on Bernie's team where we launched this program originally and now just sit within the academic department, but we all work very closely together. I do have a background in HR. I was in recruiting for about 7 years. Can you see that? It just took over all my screens.
We can see it. It didn't go to full screen, but we can see it.
I think, okay. No. Is it okay?
It's good enough.
Okay,
Yep.
sorry.
Yep.
For some reason, it wants to show on all 3 screens, so I don't know how to change it. So I worked in recruiting, so I bring some of that experience and understanding the challenges and the struggles and filling roles, understanding kind of HR processes to get people hired and dealing with resumes and interviewing. So I'm able to help students prepare for interviews and just understand the processes that employers go through just to hire people. And happy September, by the way. I was going to have a slide of pumpkins, but I figured I'd wait till after Labor Day. So why we're here? I mean, we all know why we're here. 5 years ago, we started this program because there was the critical labor shortage. Employers were facing struggles to fill positions. We're still facing that. Things are different than 5 years ago for different reasons of why there's openings, but it's still the same challenge there. So we work with students, our faculty, and industry partners to develop the Train Ohio Earn and Learn program. We wanted it to be a path to hands-on experience, on-the-job training, to get people experience early on and not just waiting the traditional route of students finishing degrees and then going out in the workforce and hoping there's a job out there for them. So we developed the Earn and Learn program. So one benefit of a very significant benefit of this program is that we can identify the student candidates for employers like yourself. We're doing this work early on to bring people into the program, identify who they are, and make that connection to you. We want to lead these students directly to the jobs you have. And that's why we have employers at the table from day one. So they're leading directly to the open jobs you have. So the skills they're learning are exactly the skills you're asking for or close to. So we've worked with employers to develop this Earn and Learn program. And what it does is combine paid part-time or full-time work-based learning for the students while they work towards their degree. And so when we started this program within our MEMS degree, we started as a students work 3 days a week and go to school 2 days a week. So we've created all our classes to fall on those 2 days a week and making students available 3 full days for employers, so it wasn't so scattered. And I'll get into how we've expanded it, but there are variations of that just based on the different programs and different employer needs. And so that's why it's a combination of paid and part-time or paid and full-time just based on the students' needs. So we developed this Earn and Learn Train Ohio model. The goals of our program 5 years ago are still the same: to fill that talent pipeline to your business. We want to have students ready to go when you need us, when you call on us. We have students trained and ready to go for your positions. We want students to walk away debt-free. So the money that they're earning within their position, they can turn around and pay it towards their student education. And when we did a calculation, students actually end up making more money because of our low tuition rate. They're actually able to walk away earning money if they put it all towards their tuition. We want to increase enrollment and completion of all of our programs. So if we're able to engage students early on in the program and show them the line to jobs, they're more likely to stay engaged and stay in the program and in their career. And we also wanted to increase the interest in advanced manufacturing. Many people didn't know what manufacturing was, or they saw a different image of it. And so we wanted to change that for people and get people excited to come into manufacturing. Several of the factors that go into this program, working really closely with Tony Schweppe to run that market research early on. So what are the jobs out there, what employers are hiring, and bringing all those employers to the table, having meetings like this. So engaging with employer to understand their needs and pulling in the faculty that have degrees to meet those needs. And then recruiting students into the program or engaging with the students already in the program, and working closely with our advisors here on campus to get students enrolled in the right courses. And then a lot of my job is helping place those students in the jobs and making sure that they complete their degree and get the education that they need. And if anyone has questions along the way, go ahead, Bernie.
Hey, Courtney, just can you speak to the power of having the messaging when you're recruiting students into these programs to say, we've got X number of employers at the ready for hiring?
Yeah, so that was in our MEMS degree when we launched this Earn and Learn program. That was one of the biggest pieces that we heard from students of why they were interested in the program, was that they heard there were jobs. So we are able to go into classes. Our faculty, without their support, it wouldn't be as big as it is. Faculty get in front of students every class within their Canvas site, their job site, to show what employers are at the table and what jobs there are. And we're really good about showing how what they're learning in their class leads to these jobs or is tied to these jobs. So students can see that tie between what they're learning and know that they're learning exactly what they need to be successful in their career. And so when we started this program, we had, I'll go to the next slide. We had 5 students, and we begged our dean to run the MEMS program, because normally you have to have 6 to at least run a class. So we said, we really believe in this. We have 8 employers that are excited. They're ready to hire students. Let's just run with it and see what happens. So she approved us to run the classes with 5 students, and we were able to place all 5 students in jobs within the MEMS field. And slowly students just heard there were jobs. We shared the openings, who the employers were, what they were hiring for, that career path. And students came into the program. It kind of became, we called it like a family tree, because everyone was kind of connected, either their cousin or their friend. They all brought people into the program because they knew there were jobs on the end of it. So we've grown this program between manufacturing and IT programs, and we've been able to fill 153 positions. That's between full-time and Earn and Learn. Some of the students that have been in the Earn and Learn program, it's led to a full-time job. Whether with the same company or they've been able to advance their career. We have 132 employer partners who provide feedback into the program, and the 100% job placement rate within that field when they complete their associate's degree. So like I said, we've been able to expand our program. We now have Earn and Learn within MEMS, automation, cybersecurity, and software development. And when I say that the Earn and Learn is within that, we've now changed the curriculum. So work-based learning is a requirement within these degrees. And that really leads to be successful, because students aren't able to earn these degrees without getting credit and working on the job. And so without that requirement, students can just complete the degree and, hopefully get a job. But we require students to engage with us early on to help them make sure that they're earning the skills employers want and helping place them with the employers. And then as one of our vision for the college is to expand the Earn and Learn into these other degree programs like you'll see. It's not necessarily limited to these degrees. This is just our goal right now, but if there's another need an employer has, we're definitely willing to listen, but it is most of our manufacturing degrees are on the table to embed the Earn and Learn and that work-based learning requirement within it. I wanted to pause, just questions open up for discussion so far before we move forward, but how can an Earn and Learn program help you achieve your recruitment and retention goals? Are you seeing barriers to launching this? So do you have barriers to bring on someone part-time while they're earning their degree? One example I'll give is we worked with a local company in Westlake that just had their management wasn't open to part-time. They could only hire full-time. And by the time someone was ready for a full-time job, they had already worked part-time with the company and kind of stayed that track with the company. But this past summer, they were able to bring on students part-time while they went to school over the summer, and they were able to hire 4 students part-time who are now still working there and bring on 2 other full-time students as well. So they were able to kind of get over that barrier of bringing on part-time students, although it wasn't their normal way of hiring.
Hey, Courtney, this is Tony, and that's what I hear from industry partners that I'm talking to is that they need them there for their 40-hour week shift because they have production, to fulfill. So getting them to allow them to go to school 2 days a week is sometimes a challenge, but as you have proven, it's successful.
Yeah, and that's what we try to do at least the 3 days. So you're getting 3 full days of students. When we first started this, we asked employers if they kind of did a rotating shift. If you had 1 student kind of take the 2 part-time students to equal 1 full-time student is not, is possible too.
Are employers on the line? I mean, I know some of you are already taking advantage of that, or some of the others that are newer. Do you have anything? Are you open to Earn and Learn programs like that?
I can tell you one of the struggles we would have at United is we work 12-hour shifts and they are swing shifts. So half the shift is on days and half the shift is on nights. And that's both for our chemical operators as well as our lab folks.
One solution could be some customized training. I mean, that's not our topic for today, but there are ways to develop customized training for employers also that would align more closely with that schedule.
Okay.
I'll speak for agronomics that, and like obviously I said before that we have students and they work full time when they can, like during the summer, and then they work part time. And I always tell them we'll take, in the end, it's worth it, accommodating to their schedule for the classes.
And I have seen companies around the state do what you might call job sharing, as I think Courtney or Tony mentioned, where someone works 2 days and then takes classes 2 days. That I suppose would be a challenge for the college because the classes are only offered certain days. And then the other is depending on the kind of work and the production schedule, people working half shifts rather than full shifts. So they, again, so production doesn't slow down, and they also manage of the individual who's learning and then becomes more skilled and more valuable over time.
Yeah, it's not, it is, we'd rather have somebody full-time doing what they're doing, but again, we understand it's a path to developing a greater level of talent later on that we need just as well. So, we're happy to work with them.
And we have seen it kind of from the students' perspective, a little intimidating at first to have a full course load and go to work. But as you know, if there's some flexibility in that early on, they realize, oh, I can make more money, and they can kind of be flexible with their classes too to accommodate the employer if they know that the flexibility is on both ends.
Hey, Courtney, I'm not sure if you have it in your slide or not, but maybe speak to the front loading of the technical courses. So they have those skills, they can do the work-based learning sooner after they complete that.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry if you have it.
oh, no, that's okay. I'll go to this slide and then I'll make sure we get to that. Actually, yeah, let me show, I'll jump ahead. So the Earn and Learn program, this is just an example of the automation program. We have a similar setup for the microelectronics, but so if we were able to, we wanted to run the Earn and Learn program over 5 semesters. So the student goes to class over the summer and it makes them able to start full-time quicker. But you can see that a lot of the classes can be front-loaded in the first and second semester. One of the reasons for this is to get the students skilled a little quicker so they have the skills to make them more employable. So here they have a lot of the robotics classes, the PLC courses. So by the time they finish their second semester, they've had a lot of those technical courses. And then the summer semester is lighter, so they could work a full-time position. And then, you know, their last 2 semesters, they're just finishing up the degree. With our MEMS degree, we originally had our industry recognized soldering certificate towards the end of the degree. But I remember Bernie made a great suggestion to move it to the first semester to make students earn that early on and get them more employable. So by the time they got their job in the second or third semester, they were much more ready to work. And it's made these students a lot more employable and ready to hit the ground running when they come into the employer site. And so and I'll come back to that slide again too, but some of the best practices we've seen within the Earn and Learn is really getting to the students. When we started the MEMS program, we saw a lot of the adult population taking it. They wanted to come in, one person, you know, a lot of people already had their degree, they're looking for a career change. So they came into the program. Programs like the automation program, we realized we really need to get to those middle and high school students, get them excited about the program early on, get their parents excited, show them the career pathway and the job opportunities. So we've really welcomed the students, middle school and high school students, to come into our labs, tour it, do sample projects. We have a Flex Factor program. And so ways that we can get students into our fab lab, tour the automation lab, and then also invite employers to our panel as a way to engage with students early on. One of my best practices is to engage with the students in the first 2 weeks of classes. So going into their class, introducing myself. I find it helpful when they have a contact who they can engage with, who know the employers, who know the job opportunities, and can help connect them. With Joe's example of Sarah at Agronomics, I went into her class and she was beginning the second year of her program. And I shared the program with her and she reached out to me and just able to make that connection over to agronomics. And as we get to know the students, their skills and their needs. So every student's different of how far they want to travel for work. Some actually come in with high school classes. So some may already have skills ready to go to work. So really just knowing what their skills are and what they're looking for and helping make that connection to the right employer. So, you know, when that recommendation is made to employer, we can kind of show how this student could be a good fit for the employer. We don't want to send them to a company that's a 30-minute drive if the student only wants to drive 15 minutes. So we try and weed those factors out as best as we can. The faculty and myself meet with employers. So there's, you know, 1 or 2 advisory meetings throughout the year where we try and bring all the employers together. But really those one-on-one meetings and conversations with employers are helpful, at least in the beginning, to introduce the program, speak with the technical side and the HR side, share the program. Faculty can speak that technical language and, you know, I can understand the hiring process and follow that. And one thing I've learned as we've expanded this program from MEMS into the others is that one size does not fit all. One student may not be ready to work in their second semester 3 days a week, and they want to wait till summer and really devote the summer to work full time. Some employers can't follow that part-time schedule and they want to be the employer at the end who tries to hire someone full time. So really understanding that this isn't just one way of doing things, and really listening to all the parties involved to develop this to fit everyone's need has really been a good learning experience for myself as we expand this program. So with the curriculum alignment, and like we said, with putting the classes early on, but also making sure that these classes are what the employers want, what you all want. Are they learning the skills coming out of this degree? Because we don't want students to come out of the degree and they didn't learn what you needed. It's our job to make sure that we're training them up to fit the jobs that are out in the market. And so making sure that their objectives are matched to what you said. And then again, like we said, scheduling the courses earlier in the degree to make the students more employable earlier on. And so some of the benefits of employer engagement is forming these partnerships to help create a continuous pipeline of skilled employees. My goal would be that no employers have to post on Indeed, that you can come right to LCC, tell us your needs, and here's the students to help fill you. That's my long-term goal. But again, to lower that time and cost to recruit, I know how expensive it can be to have a job open for 60, 90 days and having to post and spend all that time screening candidates. And also support the creation of education experience and increase the skill levels of your employees. So kind of to what Bernie talked about, that customized training, and we can mention at the end, but is there a way to develop these experiences for your current employees too? And then having the first opportunity to hire these students at the completion of their degree. Hopefully they're already working from you and you can promote them into a full-time position. And one thing we learned early on in this too is not all employers are ready to hire someone from day one in this program. And we want to invite people to the table no matter how you can engage. So whether that's reviewing resumes and giving feedback, doing mock interviews to give the students practice, participating in our internship fair or career fair, providing a tour of your company. We've been able to take MEM students out to different employers and show them the employment side and talk about job opportunities. And that's been a good source of recruitment. Being at the table to review the degree. So whether you can hire someone now or in 2 years, we want your feedback. So when you are ready to hire someone, the degree fits your needs. And another thing that I'm hoping to do is some lunch and learns. So bringing employers in or virtual to talk with students and have some of that more intimate conversations with students and getting students excited for the jobs that you all have. And so Joe talked about Sarah, the great experience she had, and Stephen as well. I know one student too, just to give an example, did interview with agronomics, and it was a good experience from him, and he didn't quite have the skills, this was a few years ago, ready. So, he went back into the class and took some classes, and we're hoping to connect him again soon. So whether a student is ready for a job, we welcome that feedback and, letting us know and putting them back in some classes and building up their skills so they're ready for you when you're ready for them. Another example, we did a story on a MEM student. He was actually working at Best Buy and wanted to further his career. So he did a scholarship program through NASA, worked there through a small grant, worked at a company here in our building. And then now he's working as a process engineer for a local company that deals with circuit boards that go into space through NASA. So he wasn't his plan. He was working at Best Buy on the Geek Squad and realized what a great program could lead to other job opportunities out there. And so, like I said, one size does not fit all. These are our earn and learn models. Train Ohio is just one of them. Other opportunities that we could talk about and just begin the conversation of if it fits your needs is that customized training. So do you have current employees that you're looking to send through our program that we could talk about and upskill them? And then also on October 6th, the conversation will be around registered apprenticeship programs if you want to register for that. So I just wanted to open it up for discussion, questions. How can we help with your talent needs? Would this earn and learn be a fit for your company? Are there pieces that would work, pieces that wouldn't? I wanted to leave the rest of the time just for discussion to understand what works and what doesn't, and open to feedback as well.
So for those of you who might not have been clear what Courtney just said, that October 6th is our next manufacturing monthly webinar. So that's what next month's is going to be, is specifically about registered apprenticeships.
Courtney, can this model be adapted even now to some of the other pathways? So if I'm an employer and I feel I don't need someone with an associate's degree, but a credential in, let's say, a welding credential, could the college work with me to bring that student on part-time and let them take classes and then kind of build up their skills to work for me full-time?
Absolutely. Bernie, Tony, and I were actually just talking about that yesterday, that maybe employers don't need someone to have that whole associate's degree. And so absolutely, learning that not, like welding, yeah, maybe it's a short-term certificate or something to get the student enough skills to begin work. And then if that student wanted to come back and finish an associate's degree, they could. But absolutely, it's definitely customizable. And also, as you say that, in different like cybersecurity degrees, especially with COVID, a lot of our classes are online. So it makes this program a little different where maybe students take online classes and can work more hours at an employer too. So there's a lot of flexibility in the way this is ran.
If I have a specific need for someone, let's fill in the blank, and I'm not getting anybody, I advertise, I'm not getting any applicants, or the applicants are some of what everyone sees where they don't show, they ghost you and all that. Could I reach out to you to say, I'm looking for, and again, fill in the blank, could you help me possibly find a current LCC student who might be interested in working part-time for me while they finish school, and then I can look at converting them to full-time? I guess I'm just looking at what I hear, thinking about what I hear from companies who are struggling and, don't want to invest lots and lots of time and money, but if they working with you, maybe they have a better chance at finding somebody who would be a good candidate.
Yes, definitely. I'm happy to be that point of contact. I work with a lot of faculty across several of our manufacturing degrees, along with, Tony, who works with this as well. So definitely, if anyone wants to connect with me and at least given a better idea of who the current students are they already working, and just kind of be a point of contact to give a better explanation of who we have and because we have a lot of programs that are bringing students in and getting them those short-term fast track certificates. And so, finding out who those students are and just being that point of contact and that connection from students to employers.
Is there money available to help? So let's say you help me connect with somebody. I'm going to pay them to work for me two or 3 days a week while they finish their training. If there's a particular course I think I'd like them to take, depending on their situation, is there grant money? Or I see Eddie's on the call. Could I reach out to Ohio Means Jobs and see if they'd help the person with their tuition?
Yeah, and I can let Eddie answer too, but I know from the experience I have with some grants, there's a lot of funding opportunities out there, just depending on the students. So like we have one grant that's for students 16 to 24. There's money out there through CARES Act for people who come in because of the COVID relief. There's fast track money to help people get a fast track certificate. So we definitely could look at, I know there's a lot of different opportunities to pay for our education, and we could look at that based on who the person is that would be going through it.
Hey, Eddie, you came on a little bit late. If you can introduce yourself and kind of maybe answer the question.
Yes, my name's Eddie Hawkins. I am the Business Services Account Executive with Lorain County, Ohio Means Job Center. I assist employers in be able to use different grant funds that are coming through our agency to help grow their workforce. In regards to the question there, we do have quite a few different funding areas that can help out on different educational pieces, whether it's coming through our adult programs or coming directly through our income at worker funds. So we're definitely able to help out in be able to supply funds to help individuals grow in those educational areas.
Hey, Eddie, this is Tony. I think one thing that you might want to point out is the incumbent worker training dollars. Can you kind of let the employers that are not aware of the percentages? Because I know based on their size, they may only have to pay 10% of the training costs, and wages can count towards that 10%. Can you kind of go over those real quick?
Yes. For our incumbent worker funds, employers that are under 50 employees, full-time employees within the company, we will cover 90% of the actual training cost. And then the employer is responsible for the other 10%. For those that are from 50 up to 99, we cover 75% of the training cost. And then those that are 100 and above, we cover 50%. For each area that the employer is responsible for, wages are included in there. So technically, we are actually paying above the percentage that we would cover, because those wages as the individuals going through training are being covered by you. So we take that into account as the employer contribution. And there's no cap with our incumbent worker funds. So it could be a training that's worth $2,000 on up through $15,000. Just depends on what they're going through and what's required for them to get that certification. So it's a great opportunity for an employer to take advantage of.
Also, one thing that we're trying to do is partner, some of the leaders on this call, partner together Ohio Means Jobs with Lorain County Community College, with the Lorain Chamber, with Lorain County Manufacturing Sector Partnership. So to listen to the employer's needs on an individual basis, and then present a funding package that works for the program that they're trying to develop. So trying to take some of that load off of our employers, so you don't have to just be scattered around saying like, I think I heard there's money somewhere, so we would like to really kind of have a concierge approach to that, where once we know your needs, we can identify the funding sources that can support that training.
I'll even go so far as to say that we're working with 2 local manufacturers where transportation is an issue, and we're working together to see if we can actually provide some transportation options for new hires or even existing employees, to take some of the burden off of an employee that maybe doesn't have a car to get to and from, or is somehow catching a ride or utilizing some other options. So there's a lot we can do, and it's a lot that we're trying to make happen, just to make sure that we fill those talent holes that you have in your business right now. So don't ever hesitate to ask.
Courtney, do you want to put your contact info up?
Thank you. Yep. So feel free to reach out at any time. Any questions, I can help convene the right people into a meeting. If you have just questions, but yeah, please feel free to reach out at any time.
Hey, this is Joe. I'll try to keep it quick. I know, as we've indicated, we've worked pretty closely with Lorain County Community College, and in particular the automation specialist program, and the people coming through that. And the college has been great to listening to us and making some, I think, minor tweaks to that program. Is there like a regular intervals for reviewing the program, and maybe there, at some point there'd be a time to make another adjustment, to the curriculum?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. We're actually due, because I think the last one was July of 2019, and because of COVID, we just didn't convene one. So I will work with Scott Zetek, and we can get one scheduled for this fall. Because they should be, it's one of for within the MEMS program, it's good to have 1 to 2 meetings to get at least a formal meeting to get feedback. So we're definitely due for one with automation.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Courtney, is it possible for you to send us your presentation?
Yeah, Bernie or, yeah, I'll have, I don't know if Bernie or Tony, you want to send that out, but definitely.
Yeah, Mary, it's actually we're going to, this is being recorded. It will be on the YouTube page of the Lorain County Manufacturing Sector Partnership, but we'll make sure everybody who attended and those who signed up that were for some reason unable to attend, you'll get the link to it as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure. And the only other thing, Bernie, I would say is that while Eddie did introduce himself, Lori Springer came in a little bit late from Neograph. Lori, if you can just introduce yourself, maybe say a few words about Neograph and if you guys have used any type of student apprentices or learn and earn.
Sure.
And learn.
Sure, I'm Lori Springer. I'm the HR director for Neograph in Lakewood, Ohio. And we currently have a program through Tri-C that we have some maintenance apprentice and it's going well. So I think we're just looking for other options to kind of expand that since it's been such a success for us. We're looking for kind of that invigoration of new talent and up and coming talent and to have that partnership to kind of fill some, succession planning holes in the future.
Hey,
That's
Lori,
great.
what I know maintenance, you mentioned maintenance with Tri-C. Do you have other hiring needs in addition to maintenance?
So currently that's the only one that we have focused on right now. We do have, while it's not kind of an official apprenticeship program, we do have an individual who we've been working with like in an engineering field. She's going to school currently, so she's been working for us and then she takes time off the next semester to go to school. So kind of like a co-op program.
Yeah.
And it's not tied directly to her school, but something that we did just on an individual basis. So I would say, right now are probably two areas of the most need would be the maintenance, because we do have some upcoming retirement turnover. And then also in engineering, like process managers, engineering type folks.
Great, thank you.
Anything else you want to add, Bernie, or any other last minute questions from anybody who attended?
I would just continue, encourage you to continue to stay engaged with these monthly sessions if you're finding value. As Tony and Courtney mentioned, our next session will be on registered apprenticeships. And, I know that sometimes that term has a negative connotation just for, through the model has changed through the years. Not all registered apprenticeships are 8,000 hours leading to that journeyman card. We've been able to break that down into smaller components, and it's well beyond construction at this point. While skilled trades are still really high users of the registered apprenticeship model, we're having really great success with it in manufacturing. And so we hope that you'll join us to learn more about our tried and true model that has been updated a little bit, and even to the point that Lorain County Community College is a sponsor of for Apprentice Ohio. So if you didn't want to do all the paperwork necessary for that, the college you can offload that to the college. So anyway, hope you can join us next time.
It's October 6th. If you put it on your calendar right now, I want to thank Courtney. You did a great job, Courtney. I think it was very easy to follow. And again, her information is there if you have additional questions. Like I said, everybody will receive a link to the YouTube page where this will be posted. And just so you know, the Chamber takes its job seriously as far as working with Lorain County Community College and the Earn and Learn program, as well as working with the Lorain County Manufacturing Sector Partnership. As most of you know, manufacturing is one of our in-demand jobs here in Lorain County, along with IT and our healthcare facilities as well. So we work hard to make sure that we're working with the local manufacturers. I will give a shout out, and I will throw this into our the chat there. We have our economic summit is coming up on September 17th. There is a free option to watch it via Zoom. And if you are interested, we are taking reservations to actually attend at Lorain County Community College. There's a small charge with that to cover the cost of your breakfast. We are going to be bringing in a speaker who is going to be talking about workforce and filling that whole skills gap and what they can do. So obviously some of what you guys are dealing with on a daily basis would cover that. So I hope you take the time, register either in person or online, and we'll see you guys, if not at the Economic Summit, we'll see you at the next Manufacturing Monthly. So thanks for attending. And
Thank you.
Christy, you can stop recording.
Thank you.